Nearly 1.4 million Puerto Ricans facing dangerous food stamp cuts as Trump and Congress fail to act.
Here's a summary of the article.
With hurricane relief funding stalled in Congress due to opposition from the Trump administration, Puerto Rico has reportedly started slashing food stamps in an attempt to preserve the life-saving program. Puerto Rico needs food assistance funding due to the hurricanes which devastated the island. Some 1.4 million U.S. citizens will face large cuts to their food assistance benefits. 230,000 will lose the benefits entirely, Sanders tweeted. Some 1.4 million U.S. citizens will face large cuts to their food assistance benefits. 230,000 will lose the benefits entirely. The reductions in food stamp assistance come just over a month after the Trump administration dismissed as excessive and unnecessary House Democrats' plan to provide $600 million in funding for Puerto Rico's nutritional assistance program. According to the Post, the White House is now backing a broad Republican proposal that includes $600 million in food stamp aid to Puerto Rico, but there is no vote scheduled on the measure. Puerto Rico's food stamp program is uniquely dependent on periodic help from Congress, though the island does not have a voting representative in either the House or Senate, or a say in presidential elections, the Post reported. According to the Center on Budget and Policy Priorities, more than 300,000 children could be affected by the food stamp cuts.
This post received a score of 6,779, with an upvote ratio of 89%. Here are the top comments in response to this article.
Anyone actually from Puerto Rico mind sharing what it's like living there? Just based on the news stories, it seems like it's literally falling apart and on the edge of collapsing.
Internet is okay. Cell phone communications are also okay. Water is okay, for now. Try running a business for months without electricity. A lot of businesses went down and a lot of people lost their savings. Roads are worse than they were before with more potholes, fewer traffic lights in non-essential areas, etc.
Adding to all that, there's the education problem. Around a year ago or so, more than 30% of public schools were closed down due to the debt our government has. Beyond just the public schools, the UPR University of Puerto Rico had to also double the cost of tuition, cut salaries, fire a bunch of employees, and there's rumors about all of that happening again and the closing of almost all other precincts of the UPR. There's still other universities to go, like private universities like UN, but they cost a lot more than public universities like the UPR. This hurts the most. The Pell Grant I receive used to cover my tuition costs, but not anymore given the increase in the credit hours.
1.4 million receive food stamps, and their entire population is only 3.33 million? I think a society with 42% of its people on welfare is the real issue, don't you?
That's kind of what I was thinking. My heart goes out to those people, but how is that sustainable?
It isn't.
42% of the population is on food stamps.
My agency had people in Puerto Rico within 24 hours despite the weather challenges of getting there. Without power, people in the lowlands weren't able to return to work. In the highlands, people still had some transportation issue. The people running the power coup are completely incompetent to assume the best.
This doesn't only apply to the electrical system. The government and large corporations in PR are completely incompetent and criminally corrupt. It's hard to regulate and/or correct a way of life overnight.
Is almost half the population of Puerto Rico on food stamps. Their pop is 3.33 mil.
The reason why so many Puerto Ricans are on food stamps is because those who could afford to not be on food stamps left the island, leaving behind an island full of poor people. Poor people pay less or no income taxes to the Puerto Rican government, so the already corrupt local government becomes even more corrupt as bribery becomes a basic requirement to get things done. As the culture and society of Puerto Rico becomes more and more corrupt, more and more successful people leave the island, poverty and corruption become more and more concentrated, and budgets get cut some more. Honestly, at this point, Congress should either make PR a state, or let it become independent.
This video was automatically created by Reddit to speech. The article and comments in this video were selected from Reddit according to their upvotes, and any paraphrasing was performed by smmry.com, without any human intervention.